You have done everything right. You went to bed early, you avoided screens, you drank the herbal tea. And still, at 2 in the morning, your eyes open to that thin, silver slice of moonlight. The mystery is real. The usual tips fail because they ignore the quiet shift in the body's clock after 70. Sleep drive builds differently. The circadian rhythm drifts earlier, and the brain becomes more sensitive to light and naps. The fix is not force but timing. For anyone past 50, sleep is the lever for memory, energy, balance, and independence. Here is a micro habit you can do today. Choose a steady wake time and write it on a sticky note. If you can keep that wake time within 15 minutes every day for one full week, you are on the right track. Imagine two neighbors. One goes to bed whenever exhaustion hits and naps long whenever the afternoon sags. The other picks a wake time, aims for a bedtime between 9 and 10:30 in the evening, steps in a morning light, and keeps naps short. By month's end, the second neighbor is steadier on the stairs, less foggy after breakfast, and more present with family. Same neighborhood, different timing. Many clinicians in sleep medicine offer a gentle consensus. Most older adults feel and function best with roughly 7 to 8 hours of sleep anchored to a consistent wake time, with bedtime chosen to match that anchor. No rigid promise, just a practical range and a method that respects how sleep changes with age. A large story of a quiet turning point. Barbara in Columbus, 72, loved the ritual of hot tea and evening news. She had started going to bed earlier and earlier, chasing sleep like a cat chases a dot of light. Yet she kept waking at 3, staring at the ceiling fan. One morning her physician suggested she set a steady wake time of 6:30 and build bedtime backward from there. The first night, Barbara stayed up until a calm 10. She read a paperback under a warm lamp, the scent of pages like dry hay. In the morning, she opened the curtains and let the pale Ohio light fill the room. 3 nights later she slept through, waking with a slow smile she could feel in her cheeks. What this means for a 50-plus listener: a consistent wake time and a realistic bedtime window may reduce night wakings. Quick, what to do now? Decide tomorrow's wake time and place your alarm across the room. If you can reach it only by standing, you are on the right track. If this lands for you, tell me in one short line. Are you more of a 9 o'clock sleeper or a 10:30 night owl? Your answer could encourage someone who feels stuck in the middle of the night. First, pick a wake time you can keep every day, including weekends. Many older adults choose 6 to 7 in the morning. This is your anchor. Next, count back 7 to 8 hours to find your personal bedtime window, often 9 to 10:30 in the evening after 70. If you usually need the bathroom at night, aim for the earlier edge of the window so your total sleep still adds up. Then, begin wind down about 90 minutes before bed. Low lights, quiet reading, light stretching, or gentle music. Keep the television dim and the phone away from the face. If you nap, keep it brief, 20 minutes or less, and finish before mid-afternoon. Finally, greet the day with light. Within half an hour of waking, step into morning daylight for 10 to 20 minutes. Light at the right time tells your brain when night should begin. Quick, what to do now? Write your wake time and lights dim time on a card by the bed. If the room's light actually looks softer during wind down, you are on the right track. 2 micro stories, 1 lesson. Ken in Leeds, 68, fixed his wake time at 6:45. The first week he felt drowsy after lunch but kept naps short. By the second week, his bedtime settled naturally at 10, and those 2 in the morning stare downs disappeared. What this means for a 50-plus listener: a steady wake time often allows bedtime to set itself. Amina in Vancouver, 74, loved late television dramas. She put a lamp with a warm bulb beside her chair and turned the overhead lights low after 8:30. The softer glow made her yawn on cue. What this means for a 50-plus listener: dim lighting before bed may encourage an earlier, easier sleep onset. If you want more practical, kindly delivered sleep tools for older adults, consider subscribing. This channel makes routines feel doable, not strict. You do not fail at sleep. Your biology just runs on signals. After 70, the internal clock tends to drift earlier, and the sleep drive builds best when the day has a firm structure. Fighting this with earlier and earlier bedtimes can backfire, creating long, restless stretches in the dark. Timing wins because it works with your body, not against it. Quick, what to do now? Open the curtains or step outside within the first half hour after you wake. If daylight reaches your eyes, even on a cloudy morning, you are on the right track. Why this matters after midlife. Light in the morning helps you feel sleepier at night. Big daytime naps reduce the pressure that makes sleep deep. Irregular bedtimes confuse the clock and may lead to lighter, broken sleep. Aligning these pieces supports memory, balance, and morning mood in ways you can notice. A large story of morning light as medicine. Hector in Miami, 71, missed the predictable routine he had at work. Retirement turned days into a soft blur and nights into long, wakeful stretches. A sleep specialist walked him through a simple plan. Get light early, move his body gently, pick a consistent wake time, and keep bedtime within a 90-minute target window. The next morning, Hector stood on the balcony as the city rustled awake. The warm air smelled faintly of coffee from a neighbor's kitchen. He felt his face relax in the sun. 2 weeks later, he laughed when he realized he had stopped checking the clock at 2. What this means for a 50-plus listener. Morning light paired with a regular schedule may restore depth and rhythm to sleep. Consequences of ignoring timing may include persistent early morning awakenings and daytime fog, often associated with memory lapses. A simple schedule can be stronger than any sleeping tea. Here is a soft invitation. If you have a favorite morning ritual, a certain chair by the window, a walk to the mailbox, share it below. Your small routine might be the missing piece for someone else. Naps are not the enemy, mistimed naps are. After 70, a long late-day doze may drain the very sleep drive you need at night. But a brief, well-timed rest can lift mood and attention without stealing the evening's sleep. Quick, what to do now? If you nap, set a timer for 20 minutes and lie down before mid-afternoon. If you can wake without grogginess and still feel sleepy near your bedtime, you are on the right track. Why it matters for older adults. The brain's chemistry that builds sleep pressure resets even with short naps. Long naps late in the day can shift the clock later and fragment sleep. Gentle activity and a bright room after lunch help keep you in the right lane. 2 micro stories, 1 guardrail. Marjorie in Glasgow, 76, loved the soft hum of her living room after lunch. She switched from a sprawling hour-long nap to a 20-minute tea break, rest in a recliner. Bedtime stopped sliding past 11. What this means for a 50-plus listener. Shorter naps protect an earlier, easier bedtime. Peter in Phoenix, 65, used to drift off in front of the television at 5. He started standing to watch the news and folded laundry while listening. That small change carried him cleanly to 9:30. What this means for a 50-plus listener. Light activity late in the day can preserve nighttime sleepiness. If naps are your puzzle, leave one word in the comments. Naps, and we will know to create a simple, senior-friendly guide to napping that supports your nights. The clock in your belly talks to the clock in your brain. Heavy dinners, late caffeine, and bright bathroom lights at midnight can scramble the message. Lighter evenings and gentle movement send clearer signals. Quick, what to do now? Aim to finish your main meal at least 3 hours before your target bedtime. If your plate is lighter and your body feels unburdened as you lie down, you are on the right track. Why it matters after 70. Digestion slows, bladder cues change, and sensitivity to caffeine and alcohol rises. Many older adults notice better sleep when they keep caffeine to the morning, limit alcohol, add a short evening stroll, and use low light at night. A large story of small switches. John in Denver, 70, loved a late supper and a nightcap. He also woke twice, fully alert, at 1 and 3. His daughter suggested an experiment. Eat the bigger meal at midday. Keep dinner simple and earlier. Take a slow walk around the block and switch the bathroom bulb to a low, warm night light. The first night he noticed the hush of the neighborhood, the crisp smell of pine in the cool air, the tiny clink of his keys as he came home. He fell asleep at 9:40 and woke only once. Within 2 weeks, the nightly wake-ups had softened into brief, drowsy visits to the bathroom, and an easy return to sleep. What this means for a 50-plus listener: earlier, lighter dinners and reduced light at night may cut awakenings. Ignoring these levers may lead to reflux, bathroom trips, and alerting bursts of light that are often associated with restless, shallow sleep. None of this is about perfection. It is about reducing friction. If this story rang true, and you are not yet subscribed, join us. We share senior sleep scheduling and healthy aging routines in plain, kind language. First, cool the room a little. Most older adults sleep better when the air feels slightly crisp. A fan's quiet hum or a small crack in the window can help. Next, darken what you can. Draw curtains, cover bright displays, and swap harsh bulbs for warm, dim light in the hour before bed. Keep a low night light for safe bathroom trips. Then, simplify the bed. Smooth the sheet, fluff the pillow, and place a glass of water within reach so you do not have to fully wake if you need a sip. Finally, stage your morning. Curtains ready to open, slippers by the bed, walking shoes by the door. This signals the brain that the day will begin with light and movement. Quick, what to do now? Pick one small glare, a clock face, a charger duct, and dim it tonight. If the room's edges look softer, you are on the right track. 2 micro stories, 1 comfort. Lydia in New Jersey, 73, taped a tiny square of paper over a blinking router light. She laughed at how immediate the calm felt. What this means for a 50-plus listener: less light at night may calm wake-ups. Owen in Dublin, 60, placed his robe on the same chair every night. At 2 in the morning, he could find it without turning on overhead lights. What this means for a 50-plus listener: predictable setup supports safety and quick returns to sleep. A soft ask: if you have a favorite low-glare lamp or curtain trick, share it in one short line. These homegrown solutions are gold. Sometimes the body is sleepy but the mind is loud. After 70, nighttime worries often feel sharper. For that, you do not need to wrestle with thoughts. You need a path. Quick, what to do now? Place a small notepad and pen by the bed. If a thought loops, write one sentence and promise your brain you will review it after breakfast. If the loop fades, you are on the right track. Why this matters for older adults: chasing sleep can make the bed feel like a struggle. Gentle cognitive tools, breath, attention, and a brief reset out of bed if fully awake may help the brain relearn that bed equals rest. A large story of learning a new script. Elaine in Seattle, 78, woke at 3 with a list of what-ifs. Her therapist taught her a simple routine. If she was not drifting after roughly 15 minutes, she would sit in a chair by the window, wrapped in a soft blanket, and read a calm, familiar book under a dim lamp until her eyelids felt heavy. The room smelled faintly of rain. She would then slip back into bed and breathe in for a gentle count, out for a longer one. After 2 weeks, the fear of wakefulness receded. She began to trust the night again. What this means for a 50-plus listener: a brief, quiet reset can break worry loops without forcing sleep. Consequences of ignoring mental rest may include persistent insomnia, often associated with low mood and daytime fatigue. If worry or sadness persists, a clinician or counselor can help. Asking is strong, not weak. If you have a calming phrase you whisper to yourself, share it. One sentence might be the bridge someone needs tonight. So what time should you go to bed after 70? Choose a consistent wake time, then land your bedtime in a gentle window, often between 9 and 10:30 in the evening, so you can collect 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Keep your lights soft at night and bright in the morning. Keep naps short and earlier. Keep dinners lighter and earlier. Let the rhythm repeat until the body trusts it. Quick, what to do now? Circle one bedtime you can keep for the next 7 nights. If your evenings feel calmer by the 3rd night, you are on the right track. 2 micro stories to carry forward. In Portland, Rick, 70, set a 9:45 bedtime and a 6:30 wake time, wrote them on the calendar, and asked his friend to check in. Accountability felt like kindness. What this means for a 50-plus listener: a simple plan shared with someone makes the habit real. In London, Noor, 66, moved her afternoon walk to late daylight. The sky's soft gray became her cue to begin winding down. What this means for a 50-plus listener. Consistent cues teach the body when night is coming. Here is the heart of it. The healthiest bedtime after 70 is the one that fits your steady wake time and respects your changed biology. When you honor that, mornings brighten, memory feels sharper, and balance returns to the little moments, stepping off a curb, finding a word, greeting a friend. Thank you for being here, for caring for your night, so your day can open wide. If this helped, subscribe for more senior sleep guidance and gentle, practical steps. Like the video to help others find it, and leave one short comment. What bedtime window will you try this week? There is a moment, quiet and golden, that arrives when your body finally trusts its rhythm again. You no longer chase sleep. It comes to meet you halfway. For many people after 70, this shift happens not because they found a perfect hour, but because they learned to listen to what their body whispers instead of what the clock demands. Sleep is not just rest. It is a gentle reorganization of memory, balance, and mood. When you fall asleep within your body's natural window, most often between 9 and 10:30, your heart rate lowers, your blood pressure stabilizes, and brain waves sweep out the day's noise. That's why doctors emphasize not just when you sleep, but how steadily you honor that time. Quick, what to do now? Tonight, before you turn off the light, ask yourself one soft question. Did I give my body consistency today? If you woke, moved, and ate around the same time, you are on the right track. A large story of rediscovery. James from Oregon, 75, had forgotten what a full night's sleep felt like. Retirement blurred his sense of time. Lunch at one day, for the next, bed anywhere between 8 and midnight. When his grandson visited, they made a game out of syncing clocks. Together they set a small ritual: dinner by 6, walk at 7, lights dimmed by 9:15. The first week felt strange, like wearing a new pair of shoes. But by the second week, James woke naturally at 6:30 with sunlight cutting across the curtains. He noticed how coffee tasted sharper, how the morning felt like a promise again. What this means for a 50-plus listener: regular sleep cues, meals, light, and movement, gently reset the body's timing and deepen nightly rest. Why does this matter so deeply after 70? Because fragmented sleep is not just tiring. It is often linked with memory lapses, balance issues, and emotional heaviness. When sleep becomes consistent, reaction time improves, the risk of nightfalls drops, and small joys, conversation, reading, walking, feel lighter again. Sometimes the best medicine isn't in a bottle. It's in the way you end your day. The hour before bed can be sacred if you let it. Dim lights, slow thoughts, quiet gratitude. This is how older adults rebuild what age slowly steals: deep restoration. Quick, what to do now? Choose one calm habit for your last 15 minutes before bed: breathing slowly, writing 3 lines of gratitude, or listening to soft music. If your heartbeat feels steadier by the end, you are on the right track. A micro story of peace. Linda in Wisconsin, 72, writes a single line each night: I made it through today. The act slows her breath. Sometimes she adds a detail: the smell of cut grass, the laughter of her neighbor's child. She keeps that notebook by her lamp. The pages have become her lullaby. What this means for a 50-plus listener: a nightly ritual, however small, signals safety to the mind and invites deeper sleep. When the night becomes your friend again, days gain color. You wake not groaning, but unfolding, shoulders loose, eyes rested, a mind ready for new memories. Sleep is no longer an escape. It's your quiet return to balance. If you found your rhythm, or if you're still searching, leave a short comment. What time feels right for your body? Your simple answer may help someone else rediscover their own clock. Thank you for walking this journey with me through the quiet hours. You've earned your rest. May tonight be one of those rare, beautiful nights where you close your eyes and everything in you finally says, I'm home.